It's showtime, I hope. Let's just see. I will just refresh this and see if the page is open, is running. Hopefully it'll be. We'll soon find out. Hope everyone's all right anyway. Hopefully it'll be. Oh, yeah, soon find out. Oh, that's working, but what about... Hope everyone's all right anyway. Page. Hopefully it'll be. Oh, yeah, soon find out. On my channel page, that's working. But what about... Hello, everyone. How are you? Hope you're all right. We have here with us usual motley crew of undesirables and head shrinkers and tinfoil hatters, such as Bernie Tucker. Good evening, Ben. Keep up your great videos, sir. I will. Thank you very much, Bernie. Oh, that's me. Okay. And SureTech, hello. How do you do? 69 Phuket. Hi, how you doing? Paul Wells. Good evening. And Gary Robinson. Hey, how you doing, guys? Let's start, of course, as always, with the theme tune. So, guys, it's just taking a while to open. Give me a moment. Anyway, while we're waiting, I'll just say hello to 77762. How are you? And no theme tune. Well, 69 Phuket, give it a chance. It's a rather old and rickety computer. It takes a while to get going. I'll try it again. Let's try it again. All right. It's Hourglass. Come on in. Here we go. No, looks like I don't think it's going to work. Anyway, so I'll just say hello, keep saying hello to people as they arrive. We have David Schultz. How are you? Greetings, Ben. And may you live in interesting times. Yeah, that's a good name for a newspaper, isn't it? Hello, Welsh Ripper. How are you? Hope you're doing all right. And we have here far too bloody interesting. I know. I mean, there's so much going on, isn't there? There's such a lot going on. Oh, something's happening. Right, okay, we're there. Conspiracies, took a while. Okay, I'll start again. Earth mysteries, monster cryptids, cyber saucers, and black triangle up and woe. Conspiracies, government cover-ups, Earth mysteries, monster cryptids, cyber saucers, and black triangle up and woe. Black goo in Antarctica, lizard kings from the seventh star, men in black and Queen Boudica up and woe. Black goo in Antarctica, Keplers from the seventh star, men in black
Welcome to the Hop and Woe Show. Once I was alone, I was petrified, thinking I could be abducted when the bins went out. And so I spent so many nights thinking about the gray that might be there. But I grew strong, and now I really couldn't care. Save me from the aliens, save me from the government, save me from the men in black who call. Save me from the skeptics, save me from the watchers. Justice must be done for Richard D. Hall. No more psyop whitewashes. No more left in fear. How long till disclosure comes? Is it really getting near? Is it really getting near? Is it really getting near? Or are we always gonna wonder? Are we never gonna know? Is it just a way to control cells created oh so many years ago? Save me from the sheeple, save me from the liars. Open up your eyes and see their false flag planned attacks. Save me from the grifters, save me from the spiteful mutant hacks. Our fear is their power, our obedience the same. Make quiet acts of integrity always be your aim. Make quiet acts of integrity always be your aim. Speak truth to power, always be the keeper of the flame.
Well, hello everyone and welcome to Panwo TV. Welcome to everyone who has joined me this evening. Sorry about the technical problems earlier on, but we're back. We seem to be back on track now. So how are you all? Hope you're doing all right. Lots of other people have joined us. Welsh Ripper is eager. Oh no, he just says Roger. Oh, Roger's here. Where's Roger? I know Roger. Hello, how are you anyway? Oh, David Spence Isolation. Hello, how are you? Arts Channel. Welcome, Arts Channel. Gavin, word up, Ben. Word up. That was a song, wasn't it? Oh, come on, pretty ladies around the world. Oh, Green Tea, hello. How do you do? Fetler John, howdy. And we have here Elijah, Jesus are women. That's a strange name. The government won't exist much longer. Jesus and Elijah returned as women and marry soon. And anyone in religious places will die because selling the gospel is a something you mean die. Selling the gospel is a sin. All right. I won't invite you to meet the vicar for tea, I don't think, this particular Sunday. Honestly, anyone taking money on their channel is outright telling you they worship money, lies, and Satan. Well, you'll be glad to know my channel is unmonetized, Elijah. I'm Elijah. Go read my page for the real truth if you want to be here for the kingdom of heaven. Oh, okay. Thanks, Elijah, for your input there. We have here awesome lyrics, isn't it? Yeah, I've got to thank Leanne on for that. I don't think she's here this evening, but welcome. Hello, Winslow Burdett. How are you doing? Nice to see you again. Welsh Ripper says, I fell lie dropping pill. Hurry up with the music. I beg of you, sir. All right, yeah, it's a technical problem. I couldn't get the player to open. It's working now. Hello, Nihilist Lives Matter. How do you do? Nina Burns. Hello, Nina. Are you the Nina I know on Facebook with that name? I can welcome Nina. I'm glad you're here. Hello, nothing. And we have here, send Andy to Guantanamo Bay. I think that's too good for him, quite frankly. It's too luxurious. Okay. So what? I don't know why that is, David. Your messages only appear when I select all messages. You could do. Yeah, you have to click live chat instead of top chat, David, to see them all. All right. That's what you got to do. Sweeps. Hello, Sweeps. Sweeps has contributed to tonight's show. Coming through the rye and the wind in the barley from Ireland. Nice to be here with all these good people. Thumbs up as usual. Thanks, Sweeps. Glad you're here, mate. Sweeps has sent me some pictures we'll look at in a minute. But first of all, I'm going to go through the comments that you left on the notice, which I've now deleted, as I always do. And we got a couple of I've already read out the original live chat, because sometimes the live chat disappears before the show starts. In short text says, is it about probes? And I said partly. Yeah, we got to have probes. And now we come to the live chat comments. Sorry, the comments underneath the notice. We have Arts Channel, who says here, Andrew molested an alien in Area 51. I bet he did. I'm not surprised. And Sweeps Foxman says here, hey, Ben, going to try and make this live stream. You succeeded, Sweeps. Related subjects like loose ends. Excuse me. So I'll just put in my comment here on that video, just as hecklefish, Lizard people! Loose as a goose, lol. And loose lips covering lots of previous groundwork makes a man none the wiser. Loose, right. But gives him some strange comfort and redundancy. Yeah, I think that's true, Sweeps, yeah. It fills a hole. Still gave Benz a thumbs up, despite his hit piece on Farage, who's trying to stop the Chagos giveaway by personally trying to go there and bring aid to them. All right, well, if Farage, I want to give him a fair hearing, Sweeps. So we'll see. Maybe we can talk about that this evening. Neil Peel, the Paranormal Peep Show, said maybe Trump will disclose that Andrew is a shapeshifter or just shifty. I think he's both, Neil. I think he's both. All right, guys. So, what we've got here now? We have here some more people. K-Pad playing up. Sorry for spelling. Don't worry. Yeah, we have. I remember Nina from MTV, Most Wanted with Ray Coates. She was lovely. I don't remember that, I'm afraid. Oh yeah, Vince. Ben? What's your take on the Capel Green debacle? Dion has shut down all communication and refuses to engage. Chances of a general release look bleak. Dion been got at. What's your take? Right. I've actually just put an article up on her Panwo Voice about this, guys. Let's have a look at it. Well, the page is not there, so that's not it. It's this one. Here you are. Cable Green is gone. I put this up here, so you can read about it here. I've got my take on it there. I can't say too much. There's a lot going on behind the scenes. I can't talk about. It's sort of secretive, but yeah, I mean, I don't get it because everything was going great. There was the premiere, which was sold out. There was the first cinema run, which was sold out. There was a second cinema run in London and another one in Australia, all very successful. Everything looked great to it being a great limited release movie. And of course, the next step, of course, is get distributors for home media and things like that. Netflix, Amazon Prime, etc., and things like that, and get it into festivals and awards and things like that. So everything was looking really on top of things. Everything was looking really great. And then it just seemed to stop. It just floundered. And there was a lot of I know there was a lot of conflict between different members of the production team, which I can't tell you everything. It's still a bit private. And also, I don't completely understand it myself, to be honest. It's been hard to follow. I'm not actually in the production team. I'm a member of their social media private groups, but I'm not actually in the production team. I contributed to the film through sort of on an auxiliary level, but I wasn't actually part of the team. And then, of course, unfortunately, then there was this official announcement on the Twitter and Facebook page, and it says, "With all the best intentions and efforts of many, the crew of Cable Green, we have not been able to convince the film's director, Dion Johnson, to release the film to the world. The ball is very much in Dion's court now, but as it stands sadly right now, it's RIP." So yeah, because as someone said here, as Vince said here, Dion has broken off all communication with the rest of the team. He won't talk to them. I mean, there's been attempts to build bridges. I know there's been some attempts at dialogue here. It's not just been all conflict, but it seems to have broken down. This is really, really weird because they all Dion and everyone else put so much money and effort into this. I mean, if you've seen it, I'm privileged to have gone to the premiere, as you know, I made a video reportage of it. It was so well done. I mean, it's not just one of my reportages. It's technically really, really good. It has an original score. It has really good special effects, specially designed special effects by special artists, and everything looked rosy. Everything looked promising for a really wonderful release and career for this movie. It was going to really good, and then it's just stopped. And I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, I think what we can hope for now is it will be put on YouTube. Hopefully the long version, because I'm in it. But even a shorter version would do. So as long as people can, if it's put onto YouTube, at least people can see it. But the hope was this would become a commercial success, because what's happening, right? If someone has sabotaged this production, they're financially shooting themselves in the foot, because this is the time when the film starts earning money, when you can actually sell the movie. So people can rent and buy it online and things like that, and that's the whole idea. So all this money's been invested in it, and now's the time to start earning money. And suddenly, no, I don't want that. It's very frustrating, and it's very sad because it's such a good movie, and I do hope you get to see it, guys, even if it's just on YouTube. Hello, Cesp1111. How do you do? No relation to Tessa111, are you? Send them to the bay. No, this lives matter. Farage, yesterday's news, everyone gets on the Rupert train. We can talk about that maybe. I'm definitely Team Rupert, I have to say. Although I'm Sweets might disagree. But hello, Greg. But I think I am. Just released the film on Blu-ray, guys. Well, you can't release it commercially because of issues to do with copyright and things like that. And the fact that this is the idea. I mean, this is what they want, David. All the team want this. They want it put onto. I mean, DVD. A DVD run would be great. I love DVDs, although they're considered a bit old-fashioned nowadays. But yes, I mean, any kind of home media would actually be great. It would firstly, it would pay the people who ran it. It's mostly Dion himself actually has invested a lot of this money, and then it would be people would see it. It'll become really, really big. I mean, then you have awards and things like that. You know what I mean? I mean, look at look at the day of disclosure. Look how that has taken the home media by storm. I mean, Dan Farrow's documentary. It's been nominated for an Oscar. It's been it's down as the most popular documentary on home media last year. I mean, goodness me, Cable Green could beat that. Hello, Wow Signal. How you doing? Good evening. Very sad indeed. And I know that the team have tried their best to fix it. I mean, people say, has Dion been got at? I don't know. I mean, hopefully we'll have more answers soon. I really do. But that's very, very sad. David said, Ben, you said it's the best UFO doco you've ever seen, so that's high praise indeed. Cable Green was, yes, it's the best UFO documentary I've ever seen, definitely. I mean, it's so well done. I mean, and it completely reopens the whole Rendlesham Forest incident. Well, I mean, it's not the only source. I mean, Gary Heseltine's book Non-Human does as well. It contains a lot of the same information, but yeah, very, very sad that. But anyway, let's look at the bright side, shall we? Let's look at something more cheerful. Andy Pandy is in jail. Let's have a look at this. Just have a look at this. Right. This gives me hope when this happens. Yeah. Look at that picture of him. This is the full coverage on Sky, and you can watch the whole thing. It's almost 12 hours of it. Can you believe that? They've actually... this is brilliant, man.
Lindt Choco Wafers.
It's... I've got to click like on that already, yeah. But it's... There's loads of news. You can see it all happening as it happens about his arrest and stuff like that. Now, don't be surprised if this goes quiet for a while. It's not the end of the world if this goes quiet for a while. Oh, come on. Those chocolates.
I can now bring you a full statement from Thames Valley Police. This is a statement they've shared in the last few moments. As part of the investigation,
you see, Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor,
we have today arrested a man in his 60s from Norfolk on suspicion of misconduct in public office and are carrying out searches at addresses in Berkshire.
Now, misconduct in public office doesn't sound like much, does it? Misconduct in public office, it sounds like some kind of some little white-collar misdemeanor, you know, misconduct in public office. Maybe we get his boss to give him a bollocking and then let him go, that kind of thing. But it's not. It's actually extremely serious. It carries potentially life in prison. It is akin to treason. I mean, in past ages, he could be hanged for this. In past ages, like before the abolition, he could have been hanged for this. It's a type of treason or sedition. So yeah.
And Norfolk, the man remains in police custody at this time.
A lot of this will just go over the same thing over and over again.
And his links to Jeffrey Epstein.
Links to Jeffrey Epstein, that's it.
Those who are raised up and given such tremendous opportunities. And so...
Well, we all know, don't we,
about... the news about...
That's weather. But let's have a look. Let's just have a look at... because Andrew Lowney's done a good analysis of this, if we can find it. Andrew Lowney's written lots of books about spying and things like that. He's made some documentaries about spies. Which is appropriate, really, because what Andrew's done is a form of spying. He's been passing on classified information to Jeffrey Epstein, and we know why, don't we? It's obvious why. It's obvious why he's been doing it, because Epstein's been blackmailing him. I was going to say hello to everyone who's joined us so far. We've got Wow Signal. Is the name Andy and Aliens? Yes, we're going to talk about Andy and Aliens and a couple of other things as well. Right, so we got Fetler John says here, Ben, you can have disclosure and another 2 Starmer terms, or no disclosure and 2 low terms when he delivers. Which do you choose? Oh, the latter, definitely, because if we have the former Nihilist Lives Matter, there ain't going to be nothing to we're finished. We're doomed. Rhiannon, hello, how are you? Good evening. Apologies for lateness. Don't worry, it's very fashionable. What's Gary's take on it, Ben? Gary, do you mean Gary Heseltine? Well, it's in his book Non-Human, which I do recommend. Unfortunately, right now, Gary Heseltine's book is the only published source for this new information. Yeah. So yeah, I do recommend getting his book. I've got a copy of it. And we have here, hi Ben, your best videos for me are your reportages when you're out and about, especially at the Woo conferences. Have you any in the pipeline, Ben? Also, could there be a Peasmore 3 on the horizon? All right, well, there is already a Peasmore 3 77762. It could be. I think it's 4 Peasmore videos. I might make another one. Yeah, well, you'll be glad to know there's another one coming very soon because on Thursday I'm off to Pentuck. It's the 10th anniversary. I'm going there. Going to go to the event. Going to go to the event, the public event that's been arranged, and the Skywatch afterwards. So who knows what I might see? So there'll be another reportage very soon. But I'm glad you like them. 7762. And we have here Professor Anunos. Hi ho and jolly well code, pridely dignified. Same to you, Professor Anunos. By the way, Professor Anunos, I don't know if you saw my text reply to you. YouTube has got it in the idea that your unwinnies is spam. So if any of your comments vanish, don't worry, they're in the spam folder, and I will liberate them as soon as I see them. Okay. Hello, Edmund Matthews. How do you do? When will they ask Hillary about Frazzle Drip before Congress? I bloody hope so. EA Audits, how are you? They report on Epstein. What about 3i Atlas? Well, 3i Atlas is getting close to Jupiter, yeah, and it's still doing weird things. I'll come back to that. Hillary Clinton is just, yes, she's horrible, and she, David, yeah. Now, someone was saying, I was saying about Prince Andrew that he's, what he's done is very serious indeed. The crime he's committed, it's not just some white-collared misdemeanor. It is a major felony. Misconduct in public office is a form of treason or sedition. I mean, what's going to happen is, don't be surprised, don't be worried if this goes quiet for a while, okay? Because this is going to be news for about a week. Eventually, he'll be questioned, and he'll probably be released on bail. Whether he will, I think that's a demand for probably somewhere in the Middle East. I know that what's his name, the Sultan or the Emir of the Emirates, what's his name? I can't remember his name. The Emir of the United Arab Emirates has built a mansion for him in Dubai already. Yes. And so he may try to get there. Or I think they should. Hopefully, he won't get away with that. If so, then there'll be an extradition order for him or something like that. I mean, the problem with Andrew is that they may hope he skips bail because he knows too much. Just like Epstein, he knows too much, and he may basically be allowed to skip bail as an alternative to the same fate as Epstein. And I think they need to keep a careful eye on him. He needs to be carefully watched. He needs people to take care of him around the clock to make sure he's safe. Now that's because I don't. That's not because I give a damn about his slimy little ass. I don't give a shit about his welfare, quite frankly. But it's just the other people you could take down with him. Oh yeah. Andy was up to all kinds of Gary Glitter wrongness. Oh yeah, Gordon. We probably only heard the tip of the iceberg. We've seen him with young girls. We got emails from 2010. Well, there's that photo of him with a girl lying on the floor, which you can see he's young in it. He must be at least from 2010, maybe before. We know that he continued his friendship with Epstein after 2008, as did his ex-wife Sarah Ferguson, Duchess of York. Oh, there's some amazing emails from her calling him, praising him, and God, blimey, yeah, she seems almost enamored of him. Maybe they had a fling. I don't know. Thomas Massey, says Green Tea, just made an awesome speech on the Congress floor about making arrests. Oh yeah. But I heard about that. We could look that up actually. We'll look that up later, I think, Green Tea, because of course this affects the whole world, not just Britain. And I'm sure the FBI want to see Andrew. If he goes to the US, he'll be arrested. He can't skip bail to the US because the FBI will immediately have him, and then maybe he will end up in those orange jumpsuits. Wearing one of those orange jumpsuits in Cuba, hopefully. Hey, yeah, are you going, mate? Yeah, Pentuck. It's Thursday evening. Oh, are you going to go to that? Professor Unwin oh, Follock, my wordage confused the rhythmic algo. Did it? It did. Well, they don't have I don't think they have a sense of humour. I've gone deaf, says Sebs. Oh, sorry to hear that, mate. Maybe try syringing, or he knows about Savile. Yep. Andrew, Luke Loader all vanish, puffy smoke there. They're going to try and get... I think they're going to try... Now, who knows what the CIA? Anyone else from the agency here too? Of course, all the CIA agents are going, yeah, me. Yeah, that's right. It's like, what was it, Robert Newman, the history of oil. He talks about the most famous spy in Europe. He says, all I can say is if you're the most famous spy in Europe, you're the worst. And we have here someone from the little Welsh village of Llanbumobile. Yes, give Andy to the aliens. Yeah, they can have him as far as I can. So they can use him for experiments. They can take him to Zeta Reticuli and test all their latest new drugs on him, as far as I'm concerned. Thanks to Llanbumobile. Yeah, Andrew is still maintaining that he does not sweat. I bet he's sweating now. Yeah. Oh God, he's probably. Yes, it is EA. It's at the pub. Not the pub. I can't remember what the pub's called. Yeah. Penta, #1 UFO incident, 10th anniversary. Yes, it is. And you'll be able to you'll be able to hear all about it and see all about it and watch it in my upcoming reportage. So please do stay tuned for that. Keep an eye on the channel. It'll probably be my next video actually after this one. Okay, Phuket is having a few problems here with his connection, obviously. So yeah, that's what happened. Let me just have a look now. Where's Andrew arrested? Lowney. Andrew Lowney is writing stuff about. Here we go. Royal biographer. Here he is. Hang on.
Your business is only using 20% of its data. Sure, you could search for the other 80% all over the place. Or you can find it in one place, HubSpot, where all the data makes all the difference. Learn more at HubSpot.com.
We measure longevity in years. Can we start with the events of yesterday? I mean, I presume, as the man who's
That's
written...
him, yeah. He's royal biographer. He wrote a lot of books on spying, which is, I say, very, very appropriate. And
the definitive book. Your mind has been racing since that arrest yesterday, and I know we need to be careful about what we say about it, but the impact of it is what I'm interested in hearing your thoughts on.
Yes, well, I mean, we haven't had anything like this in royal history ever before, really. I mean, it is extraordinary. It's not something I thought would happen.
Well, there's apparently an incident in 1649 when the Duke of Monmouth was arrested by King Charles II. Yeah, his own father. Now, it's interesting. It seems that kings with the name Charles don't seem to have much luck today. Yeah, the son, the Duke of Monmouth, Prince of Wales, of King Charles II in 1649, plotted to kill him. As a result, he was actually beheaded for treason. That's the last time something like this happened. Of course, the first King Charles got his head cut off by Oliver Cromwell, didn't he? Yeah. Anyway, let's keep going. Let's carry on. That's a little bit of... But it's an extraordinary thing now. It is something worth thinking about, isn't it?
I thought the police would find reasons not to investigate Andrew.
Yeah, they've been trying,
haven't they? Great surprise, a pleasure, because I and others have been calling for this for a long time, given the Epstein sort of leaks that were coming out and the mounting evidence, I would say, of his passing on of confidential information to people who shouldn't have got it. So I take my hat off to the police. I mean, they've acted very swiftly. I wonder why they acted so swiftly. One of my sources had told me there was going to be big news.
How often do the police actually arrest people who've done something wrong? I mean, surely there's another Lucy Connolly out there making mean tweets, isn't there? Why can't they pick them up? They've got to get their priorities right. They should send a van round for one of them. But no, finally they go after someone who actually deserves it.
News around now. That was before Christmas. So that suggests that possibly this has been in the works for a long time.
I'm surprised to hear you say that you were surprised that the police did this. Had you essentially resigned yourself to the fact that for the rest of his days, the establishment, or whatever you want to call it, was going to find ways to stave it off, whatever it is for him?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've spent 10 years.
I can answer that as well. Now, I must say that I knew that a day would come when justice would be done, but I didn't think it would be this soon and this swift and this decisive. This is more than I hoped for, what we've experienced in the last week.
banging my head against walls and the establishment trying to evade proper accountability. You know, I had it when I did the Mountbatten papers, trying to get those released for the public. They're bought with public funds, and they throw everything at you. They try and discredit you. They try and bankrupt you. And they're pretty ruthless in the way they operate. So I thought the police would do what they've done in the past with the Andrew case, say nothing to see here.
Yeah.
We've looked.
Do you remember the Metropolitan Police NFA'd Andrew? Do you remember? I covered this in a previous video. They literally said we're going to take no further action against him. And I thought, damn you bastards! You know, this is just after he'd given Virginia Roberts Jeffrey another $1.8 million. I mean. And then they said, oh, we're not going to take any further action. That was all probably part of some bigger deal, you know. Virginia gets paid, and the police then drop the case. It's probably because of other interested parties who are involved with Epstein. I mean, we don't know. You can almost hear them in the background. You can hear their feet, their footsteps, you know, trotting about behind the scenes. All the other people who are guilty and involved, they're all there, pulling the strings, but it looks like those strings are snapping.
Sorry, mate.
Can I ask you as well about the King's statement yesterday? And clearly, there's no sense that the royal family or the monarchy, the institution itself, will have sat back yesterday and thought, right, our work is done. Because in terms of PR,
how much did the King know?
The British public, it clearly isn't yet done. There's a lot that people still want to know and want to say and want to hear information about. But do you think that statement, first of all, from the King, was the right tone? I mean, it was pretty ice cold towards Andrew, wasn't it?
Yes, I mean, we're crawling there.
Yeah. Did you notice that the King never once referred to Andrew as my brother or a member of my family? He never once said those words. He just talked about him like he was a stranger or a member of his staff or someone else.
I mean, kicking and screaming, the royal family are coming to realize how serious this is. They brought this crisis on themselves. If they dealt with Andrew 10 years ago, 5 years ago, even a few months ago properly, this thing wouldn't have expanded. And we're now asking wider questions about royal accountability.
I'm not so sure. I think whenever they actually deal with Andrew, more will come out as it is now. I mean, where's this going to end? I mean, is the death of Diana going to be raised in this scandal? Is that going to happen next?
In privilege, and the questions asked about the King's role in this.
Yes.
You know, why did he contribute? Even if he didn't contribute, he must have been aware of the discussions and the arguments for paying her this hush money. But I know from my own research that complaints were made to the Queen for many, many years to her private secretaries.
Yeah. Why didn't she do anything?
This would have been shared with Charles. Journalists who raised issues there were denials, there were legal threats, there were strong-arm tactics. So I just feel that the public still don't quite feel that we've got the full story. And if it emerges that there's been a huge cover-up and the palace have known about this for a long time and did nothing about it, then I think that is going to increase public anger and concern. And it is about this very delicate relationship between the public and the royal family. The privileges come with duties and obligations. And if we feel they've got their noses in the trough and taking advantage of their royal status and the fact that there's no accountability, then I think people are going to be very concerned. And that is the problem. There has been no oversight of the royal family, accountancy, parliamentary scrutiny, anything like that. Because let's not forget, this is a national security scandal as well.
Yeah, but technically, you can't actually have accountability for the royal family because the royal family are the royal family. The monarch is the prosecutor and is the head of state and the prosecutor. So you can't prosecute. Constitutionally, you can't take the king to court. You can't prosecute him under law because he is the prosecutor. I mean, this is the thing. Anyway, I'm just going to go for your comments now and see what happens here. Let's have a look. Where's Sarah Ferguson at the moment? Good question. Well, some of her emails have come out, haven't they? What's she up to? I mean, she is. The emails shower Epstein with the most incredible praise, as if she's having some kind of fling with him, calling him my special friend, wonderful, and stuff like this. It reminds me of my own parents with that bloody centaur. It's disgusting. What's she doing? I mean, surely she's got some questions to answer. She must be at least being interviewed as a witness. Professor Andrew most. Oh yes, Andrew bunk loading with big hairy Bubba. All take it up the Kaibold. Oh yeah. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't go. It's tempting, isn't it, to gloat over that possibility. At least at the moment, we can just think of him just sitting there, munching on those boxes of. They serve you these microwave boxes of tasteless beef curry, and you're scooping it up with a cardboard. You have this like cardboard scoop, where and you're sitting in this cell. There's this scratchy blanket, and it's usually not at this time of year. It's usually too cold. There's a toilet with no paper, CCTV everywhere, so they can watch you things. What do you mean I'm silent? Someone says I'm silent. Well, other people can hear me. But let's have a look at. I'm just going to check my setting. Audio. Oh, it seems it's working fine. It's working fine. But you just think of him sitting there scooping that beef curry. You know what I mean? That tasteless beef curry. I bet he's thinking, "Oh dear, why can't I? Why can't I? Wish I should. I really wish I did go to Pizza Hut in Woking now." Yeah, I mean, it's really hard not to be bloody to gloat over this and feel vainglory over this. To see someone getting their comeuppance just for once. It's like that line in was it Philadelphia? Have you ever seen Philadelphia? Courtroom drama, a very good courtroom drama with Tom Hanks and Denzel Washington, and he says, "I love the law." He says, "I'm an excellent lawyer because I love the law." Because every so often, not all the time, you get to see real justice done. Joey Q. As a non-Brit and non-American, I must admit that British alien nerds are way cooler than American alien nerds. Well, you know, I'm one of them, so yeah, Joey, definitely. The World's End, yes, David. And that reminds me, we're going to do another Cynthia's watch party this year. Yeah. 777, I'm a bugger for sweating. I sweat like a fatty in the pie shop window. Well, you're going to be safe from being arrested as well. No one's going to think you're a reptilian. See you there, mate. Yeah, see you there. Oh, the sound's back on now. Ariana says, "Who is this woman? She looks like she's literally just rolled out of bed." Yeah, she looks a bit scruffy, doesn't she? That's LBC for you, isn't it? Yeah, look at her. Her wires are all tangled up. Let's have a look. Her earphone wire's all tangled up. She looks like she's wearing a nightgown and she hasn't done her buttons up. You can almost see her tits, not quite, unfortunately, but you can almost see them. Oh, we have here. Okay, where are we now? I've lost track. Oh right, yeah. Oh, let's see. Install an ad block or sponsor block. Now, if we do that, YouTube will just bring a subscription system and they'll start cutting off they'll just cut off old videos. They'll start pruning old videos from your catalog and things like that. So no, I'm not going to do that. Zeta Reticuli law comes from the Betty and Barney Hill case. Marjorie Fish first suggested. Later on, she said she'd made a mistake, and it doesn't point to Zeta Reticuli McCall. Oh, that's to do with the star map. Well, there's several theories on that. I mean, I know that Stanton Friedman, a couple of other people researching this and said it does. And what's her name? Kathleen Marden, who is Betty's niece. She said that, yeah. Sheila Fogarty, is that her name? All right. Charles is bad luck. Mind your words, just eyeballs everywhere. Yeah. Well, if you see the history of the kings of that name, yeah. The way she spells shit sounds like someone throwing up. Yeah. Where are we now? The police are run by the Crown, won't be convicted. Yeah, these cases are notoriously hard to prove. Well, he might be this time. You see, the police just do whatever they're told. I mean, we've seen that. Some of them, when they're talking anonymously, say they hate this, they hate going and arresting people for tweets, but it's their job, they have to do it. Well, under the Nuremberg Code, they really have a duty to refuse. But if, for example, their orders change because someone else comes on the scene, shall we say, then they will do so very eagerly, I'm sure. CSP heads are going to roll. Well, they certainly will in France. And I think things are going to kick off in France pretty soon, Cesp. Let's remember France politically is far less stable than Britain. They can't sort out any conflict without some kind of revolution or civil war, or including rioting and things like that. So yeah, for France, whatever's going down in Europe, and it's everywhere, the problems that this continent is facing right now, it'll kick off in France first. It ends with, it's been told, Andy self-deleting, Chuck abdicating and William taking over, maybe winding the money. Keop certainly shrinking it. It's certainly going to have to change its role, yeah. I mean, well, Charles, will he abdicate? He said he's going to carry on with as many years as God gives him, but I don't know what will happen. Edwin Matthews says she's still alive, along with Michael Jackson and Kirk. Oh, Charlie Kirk. Oh, everyone's alive in this, although, you know, I hear it all the time. I'm just going to skip a few of these guys. Oh, thanks very much. Winslow can hear me. So can Green Tea. Gary. Ben, mate, is there any chance that PA is being made a public example of in order to hide the bigger picture of horrible things going on? Do you mean Prince Andrew? Or it's actually AMB now, AMW. But yeah, AMW is... I don't know about that. Do you think he's just like... Is he just being thrown to the wolves? Like, I think this was a case with Jimmy Savile. He was thrown to the wolves to protect others. I really hope not. I mean, we will know, Gary, we will find out. And the way we'll find out is if he stands trial. If he doesn't, if something happens to him before then, either he disappears, he goes to that mansion in Dubai, or, like I say, he slips on a bar of soap in his cell, then we'll know that something else is going on. Oh, no orange wow signal. It's the glitching is rebooted. It seems okay. Okay, no problem. EA. Every time the Penturk gets mentioned, Kings. I can't remember the name of the pub. I know it's the main pub in Penturk. I mean, I think you've been there before, haven't you? It's the main pub in Penturk. Penturk's a tiny place. It's a small place. I think there's only one or two pubs. But Kaz is. I don't think it's kind of like a public thing as such. Kaz hasn't put up a website or web page about it. She just invited some people she knows. I don't think it's a secret, EA, that it's going on. But she's not selling tickets or anything like that. Edmund Matthews. Should we launch an international competition to rename pizza? Now the term is sullied. I don't know. What else could you call it, though? I mean, I don't know. Hello, Tolkien Study. How do you do? Every summer, my family would head to the Indian Head Resort in New Hampshire. Oh, right, yeah. Little did I know, right next door to the resort is a marker for the Betty and Barney Hill. Yes, didn't you see it? Have you not seen it, Tolkien Study? Yeah, it's on the road. You can see it on Google Earth. I mean, I didn't realize you didn't know it. But mind you, that marker's not been there for... I mean, how long ago was that? Because the marker was only put up sometime in the 90s. But yeah, it's actually not at the exact place it happened. It's close. It's close. It's just the actual place where they first saw the disc, the craft, is a little way further down. And they were actually driving. They were driving along with this thing for quite a while. I think for about half an hour before, and they went off the main road as well. And that's when the thing landed in front of them. He sentenced to be an exile to a life of luxury. Oh, God. Well, you know, I really hope not. I really hope not. Build a prison for Andy on the Falklands, yeah. Maybe he can get over his PTSD he got from flying his helicopter around a few times and then going back to the aircraft carrier. Yeah. Oh, I was shot at and things like that. No, he wasn't. He flew his helicopter, picked a few people out of the water, and then flew back. That's all he did. Hope Andy gets extradited and sent to El Salvador. Yeah, I think he should do hard labor in one of the Welsh coal mines that his family helped destroy. Yeah, and he should be kept. He should be like one of the old pit ponies. He should never be allowed up to the surface. They should build a little cave for him to live in. Paul Wills says 2026 is going to be the year of uprising against these people. I bloody hope so. I mean, we've made a damn good start so far. We've made a damn good start. I mean, funny enough, did you see that? Someone was posting on Twitter. Maybe I could show it to you. No, I won't bother. No, but they said, name one thing that Bill Gates can't buy. In other words, what the money of Bill Gates can't buy. You know what I replied? I replied, a way out of prison when the world is free. Seps. Oh, cheers, mate. Yeah, I'm very interested in it, Seps. That's about Seps is saying that I did a good job describing Betty and Barney Hill. Yeah, I'm very interested in that case. I mean, that's not the first alien abduction, but kind of popularized the idea. Yeah. Oh, Interstellar Discussion Channel's going to Penta. Great, him too. Great. Well, sure. Wales don't want that prick. Thank you. Well, don't worry. He'll be stuck underground the whole time, mate. Don't worry. And we'll feed him bread. We'll send him down bread and water and things like that, and maybe some beef curry from a police station. We'll do that. All right. Okay. So that's no. That's not the end of it, though. That's not the end of it. Let me just check. I've gone through all my notes. Now, this will go quiet. Don't worry, it will go quiet. But don't worry about that. All that will mean is that he may even be released on bail, which is, I think, a bad idea. But they may release him on bail. Hopefully, he'll be under like conditions such as like he can't leave Norfolk or something like that. But it'll come back again. It may be in a few weeks or a few months. There'll be updates. But I mean, this is not something. The fact that this arrest, this is not something that can just go away. This ain't going to just go away. It can't just go away. So don't worry. I mean, Nihilist Lives Matter. It's gone quiet. I'm worried. Look, it's not gone quiet yet. It will do. It will do. Oh, Green Tea says, speaking of aircraft carriers, kudos to the sailors aboard the USS Gerald Ford, who flooded the toilets so they didn't have to go to Iran. Sewage all over the lower decks. What will history call that? I know, the shit mutiny. The shit mutiny. They'll make a film about it, like the Kane mutiny. We'll have the shit mutiny. Sweeps, much demonic, dark, and deeper than people know. Adrenochrome eating tortured kids, Petersgate. Charles has to abdicate to save the monarchy, but William must stop his support for net zero monarchy important. Well, if let's say it could be that William will be, because William's human. No, William's not. William is half reptilian, half human, because he's from the Stuart bloodline as well as the Windsor bloodline. Yeah, but so he's kind of a mixture there. It's a mixture. But anyway, what's next? So I'll show. I haven't showed Sweeps photos yet. We'll go. Well, yeah. Sweeps has a number of pictures here, which I'll show to you. Here we go. I'll just open these pictures here. And they're pretty interesting. They're pretty interesting. We'll go through the issues he raises in them. And then, David, they may feel confident in extraditing Andrew to America to potentially prosecute. Well, he's facing charges over there. He's facing charges. I mean, this is why he wouldn't go there. He's facing investigation, certainly, in that country. Finally, look who's living over there now. Harry and Meghan. We could almost make Andrew the new king of the groom of the stool. Yeah, that'll be suitable, wouldn't it? But anyway, I'll Sweeps. I'm just waiting for the pictures thing to open. But we'll go to Peter Mandelson. This is what I wonder, because a lot of people are actually posting. Indeed, Jacob Rees-Mogg made a video about that, and people are even saying that Rees-Mogg's videos actually contributed to this. I doubt that, actually, but Peter Mandelson, people say, why hasn't he been arrested yet? Why has Mandy not been nicked like Andrew was? Which is a damn good question. And so, we'll have to look at that. I'm just trying to open these images. Come on. Right, open with. Windows Photo Viewer. That's what I want. Yeah. Come on, pedal hard. But anyway, Mandelson. Here we go. Yep. And I'll show you. There's some great comedy videos I want to show you as well. But again, this is Peter Mandelson, the Prince of Darkness. Tony Blair's, what is he? He did all this stuff for. What was he in Tony Blair's cabinet? He did almost every cabinet job going under the Blair regime. And what did Starmer do? Appointed him ambassador to the United States. And what the hell was he doing? I mean, I'll show you this in a minute. Yeah. What the hell? I thought Mandelson was arrested yesterday. He was. What the hell? I mean, the ambassador to the United States is actually it's one of the most prestigious places in the diplomatic service because of the special relationship. I don't know how you, Green Tea, David Schultz, how do you Americans feel about having that evil-eyed little demon representing our country in your land? Oh, Jojo Gaming is here. I bet that Prince guy will be the fall guy to have all the attention. Well, welcome, Jojo. I don't know. Mandelson is one of the Wikipedia Early Life Club. I've done Nihilist Lives Matter. I don't think that's relevant. I've done an entire video about that. I know what you're talking about. Funnily enough, believe it or not, that video got banned for hate speech, the video I made, but you can get it on Alt Tech. Definitely. As the Prince of Darkness has been arrested. Paul, don't you know? Oh, Paul, you're in for a treat. You're in for a treat. Where have you been, man? Look. Here we go. Let's watch this. Enjoy, guys. Enjoy.
It's pronounced fire.
Yeah, yeah. Premium, yeah. Thick, yeah. Protein rich, yeah.
That's supposed to get more and more annoying.
Fire.
It's pronounced fire.
I call it
For a
fake.
reason.
It feels this good to be Which recommended 7 years running. AJ Bell. Feel good investing.
And George, Liberace's just started now.
Or his answers when number 10 checked out.
Let's go back to the beginning.
Make.
Oh, we get another set of ads.
Make breakthroughs. Make your mark. Make the future. KPMG. Make the difference.
Oh, it's a portal. Look, that's a portal.
Is searching for a budget-friendly break driving you, potty? Try Kayak Explore.
Lord Mandelson, no overnight bag, just a bottle. At around 4 this afternoon, Peter Mandelson, Lord Mandelson, no overnight bag, just a bottle of water in his hand, was escorted.
Why is he not handcuffed? Come on, you see, they don't handcuff him deliberately because they don't want that image on because they know news reporters are there. They don't want to see him in handcuffs. They should put the bloody Pandora's bracelets on him. Come on.
By police officers with body cameras on their jacket pockets out of his North London home. He was taken away for questioning at a London police station. It comes just over a fortnight after members of the Metropolitan Police Specialist Crime Team searched this home and his other home in Wiltshire. Unlike Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor last Thursday, they did that without an arrest warrant. Now Lord Mandelson finds himself in a similar position to Andrew, in a police custody suite, perhaps still waiting for his lawyer to turn up, potentially giving fingerprints, DNA sample, potentially waiting in a cell. Until just over 5 months ago, Peter Mandelson was representing Britain abroad in the most important foreign posting imaginable. He was sacked from the Washington job because of his links to the sex offender Jeffrey Epstein.
But how did he get that job in the first place? They must have known, didn't they? I've got those images. I've got some of these emails behind me, by the way, in the background.
At the beginning of this month, when the US Department of Justice released thousands of emails, Peter Mandelson became of interest to the police. The emails suggested that in his time as a cabinet minister, he may have regularly passed on market-sensitive government material to Jeffrey Epstein.
Look at him with Epstein, his dressing gown. I mean, was Epstein bisexual, I wonder? Because I know that Mandelson's gay. I mean, do you think they had a fling or whatever.
Said Lord Mandelson was being investigated on suspicion of misconduct in public office. This afternoon, the government said it would soon be releasing some of Peter Mandelson's correspondence with government from his time as ambassador, which MPs forced the government to publish. But it wouldn't include the questions posed to Lord Mandelson or his answers when Number 10 checked out his Epstein connections.
The government expects to be able to publish the first tranche of documents very shortly in early March.
Oh, I'm not interested in what he has
And
to
the
say.
figure on the right of the party was being investigated by the Prime Minister's independent advisor.
I think it's a bit boring now.
There had been
some
relief among that this is a very protracted business, and all of this, of course.
Well, it's a tricky one to prove. The problem is it's not a statutory offence. It's a common law offence. So we can't go to a statute and have a look and see exactly what it consists of. All we can do is go to the old case law and have a look at what now the law says has come out of that. So, in essence, in order to be guilty of this offence, first of all, the defendant's got to be a public officer.
Well, he is.
No problem there with Mandelson, I think, check. Secondly, while he was acting as a public officer, he must have misconducted himself. It must have been a deliberate act, and it must have been something he knew was wrong or was recklessly indifferent about whether it was wrong or not.
And I bet you he's been blackmailed just like Andrew. What they did was when they probably set him up with some underage boys. That's my guess. I know he doesn't like girls, so it's boys. But I wouldn't be surprised if he's been blackmailed in exactly the same way. This is what Epstein does. He has a massive network of people controlled by vice and extortion.
So that's quite a lot to prove already. Then in addition to that, you've got to prove that the degree of wrongdoing was such that there was an abuse of the public trust in him.
Yeah, check.
And that he had no reasonable excuse or justification. So quite a package for them to prove.
Yes, a long way to go. You also wonder with both Mandelson and Andrew Windsor, given there has been
What
so
is that
much
tie? What's he bloody wearing? That tie that's not a newsreader's tie, surely not.
in the public domain about both these individuals and so much of the possible evidence.
What's she wearing? She looks like a Bene Gesserit from Dune.
Published. How is it possible to have a fair trial?
Well, it's a reasonable question to ask, but all the time at the Central Criminal Court and in many other courts, we try big cases which have had a lot of publicity and in which the public have been deeply interested and sometimes deeply upset. You've only got to think of some of the big cases we've had recently.
Well, like Helen Duncan. That was a long time ago, but I've covered the trial of Helen Duncan very closely. That was at the Central Criminal Court,
where children have been killed and youngsters have been slaughtered and so forth. And judges do manage this because jurors are given very strict instructions about the need to concentrate on what they hear in court. And once you get into a trial, jurors really are able, I think, to concentrate on what is put before them, the evidence and the arguments.
Yeah. They need to sequester the jury. I mean, I don't know if this lady's actually involved in this herself. She's a judge. They need to sequester the jury. I mean, they should have done this with the Derek Chauvin trial. They need to be put in some hotel and kept under guard, because this is such a high-level thing. And have you heard the theory? I mean, there's a theory going around that I don't know if you've heard the theory that I mean that the reason they're keeping this quiet is because they're scared of what's in ufology is known as ontological shock. Now, I have a feeling that the ontological shock element of this children, what's been done to children by this society, is actually far worse than the secrecy surrounding UFOs, and it will cause worse ontological shock than the UFO disclosure, whatever the truth is about UFOs. Professor Youngmost, for deep joy in the pentaload. Who are you talking about? That judge lady. Is she a gilf? Do you think she's a gilf? I won't tell you what that stands for. Here we go. Let's go back to her. Where were we?
But I do accept in this case it's a big ask.
Wendy Joseph, thank you very much indeed for joining us.
I suspect there's more. I suspect you see, it's very similar. What they're scared of, these two guys they've just arrested, Windsor and Mandelson, they're like the keystone in the dam. And they have to be very, very careful extracting it. The people who want to keep the secrets will have to be very, very careful extracting that keystone, or the dam will break. And when it does, we won't know what's hit us. I mean, the truth, when the truth comes out, it's going to absolutely devastate us. A jury of Lord Mandelson's peers is the peerage. Yeah, his peers would have to be other lords, won't they? Well, hopefully he'll be stripped of all his titles, like Windsor, like Andrew was. Hopefully he'll be stripped of all his titles. Let's have a look what's going on. No, come on.
Well, we can now talk to the Labour MP, Belle Ribeiro Addy, who joins us from Westminster. Can you hear me all right, Belle?
Yes, I can.
Oh, God,
Thank you very much for joining us.
It's white men that are doing it. It's white men. So I haven't heard what she said yet, but I've got a feeling that's what she's going to. I can almost guess that's what she's going to say. So let's have a look at Sweep's pictures. Let's have a look. Sweeps has made some lovely pictures here. So I'll just show them to you. This is a fox sleeping. The fox that sweeps. We know who the fox that sweeps is. Do you remember? Like, there's the picture of Sweeps. There's the other picture of Sweeps. There we go. That's that. There's the other picture of Sweeps. What was that then? Anyway, that was just my background. You know the one I took in Swindon. The fox on the skateboard. Now, here we go. Here's the poison I'm recognizing. I'll make farmers use it. Glyphosate, which, of course, is a deadly poison. It's an agricultural poison. Go back. This is China and Russia telling the American aircraft carrier to go back. Well, luckily, that American aircraft carrier had a little bit of a lavatorial accident, so hopefully we won't going to see anytime soon. Poisoning your food. The Tucker Carlson show. There we go. Yeah, glyphosate. This is why the bees are dying and things like that. All right, yeah, this is interesting. Oh, this is the Congress thing, right? I'll come on to that in a minute. Now, this is interesting. I'm not in the Epstein files, but your leaders are. I believe them. Tucker Carlson storms White House, telling Trump, "Stop this war in Iran, World War III." This is scary because they're moving these aircraft carriers actually into the Eastern Mediterranean, the Arabian Gulf, and things like that, the Arabian Sea, Persian Gulf, where they can attack Iran. Yeah. Why attack Iran? I mean, this is the thing. I mean, is there a reason why they want to attack Iran? Probably because it's something to do with Israel, as most things are in that region. Right, this is interesting. Let's all focus on aliens. No Epstein questions, please. I'll come on to that. That's a good picture. Look, look, they've made J.D. Vance look like Kevin Logan. Well, this is an interesting point that Sweeps has raised, because I'll have a lot to say about that in a minute. That's my background there, and there's my background. Okay, so and there we go. That's the notice background, and there we go. That's it. So thanks very much for those Sweeps, my old friend. I hope you're there. Oh. dear. Am I back now? Yeah, I'm back now. I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. Followed. I should be back now. I was just talking about Sweeps' images. 10:10. Okay, I'm back. It's now right. Am I back? Hopefully you can all see me. Right. I don't know if it's the web. I don't know what that was actually. But anyway, I think I'm back. I'm back. Good. I'm back. Yeah. I was just going to sweep through Sweeps' pictures. Now, Sweeps brings up the point that is this some the word distraction is you'll hear that an awful lot because we suddenly got all the stuff I talked about in loose ends has happened. For example, Trump has well I'll tell you what I'll just show you these before we go anywhere. There's some comedy videos I want to show you, and this is by this really good channel here. This is called the Crew Kern Gazette. Have you heard of this? This is really funny. Look, this is Peter Mandelson being nicked. Have a look at this. I'll show you another one. I'll show you one more. It's a really good channel. I love this. The shorts in particular are great. Peter Mandelson spent the night in the cell. They're great, aren't they? Yeah, I do. Oh, what's happened? Oh, it's not running. Oh, right. Okay. All right. Okay. I know what's happening. Here we go. That's because I left the studio. That's it. There we go. How's that? That's better? All right. Look. Just all you have to do is go to this channel here. All right. Where is it? Yeah. This. Where's that channel gone? Here we go. Yeah, the Crew Kern Gazette. All right, just go to this channel. You can watch these things.
He's
all right.
my beautiful and humble lead.
You can watch these really funny little shorts. They're really good. Okay, technical difficulties. Yes, we have had a few of these tonight. We must have a Mercury retrograde. Okay, so yeah, all weird things happen with Trump. Now after this broke when I was doing the loose ends video, where I talked about Obama and what he said. He says basically this Brian Tyler Cohen said, "Are aliens real?" And he answered, "They're real, but I haven't seen them. And they're not being kept in Area 51. There's no underground facility unless there's an enormous conspiracy and they hid it from the President of the United States." And of course, yes, they do hide these things from the President of the United States. That's the whole point. What about the aliens in Obama? Yeah, well, he said they're real. I mean, this is now. I don't think. I mean, Richard Dolan doesn't think much of this, and I'd already wondered how revealing this is exactly. And then you get Trump. Trump then was asked. He was on Air Force One, and a reporter asked him to comment on this, and he said he gave classified information, and he's not supposed to be doing that. He made a big mistake. Now I do wonder what he's talking about. I mean, did Trump actually see? Did Trump see what Obama said? Did he see the interview? Because I do wonder about that. Because what classified information? Because he goes on to say, I don't know if they're real or not. I don't have an opinion on it, but a lot of people do. I might get him out of a lot of trouble by declassifying it. Well, okay, what's he declassifying? Is it real or not? If it's real, then it has to be real to be classified. Or if it's not real, then there's nothing to declassify. There's nothing to be classified. Now, what I thought he might have meant, what I thought Trump might have meant, was that his gripe with his predecessor might be that Obama mentioned Area 51. He actually uttered the name of Area 51. Now, there was a time when you couldn't do that. I mean, people in the in public office in the United States could not utter the name of Area 51, and just to say the name was, or to call it the Dreamland facility or the Groom Lake facility, anything like that. They couldn't say it because it officially didn't exist. Now, that's not an issue anymore, though, and the reason is because of the Frost lawsuit. I mean, if you remember this guy, somebody Frost, he and his colleagues actually, they served Area 51 and they got sick from being exposed to chemicals used in the construction of various things, various secret projects, right? Not necessarily alien, it could have been just something to do with the aircraft. And they tried to sue, and because they'd signed these waivers and things like that and these various disclaimers, they say, well, you can't sue us because this place you supposedly served that doesn't exist. And they said, well, we were there for 10 years and we got paid a massive salary for being there. And he said, yeah, but it doesn't exist. And he says, I could take you up onto Tickaboo Peak right now and I could show it to you. And eventually, they did actually admit, because of this lawsuit, they did actually admit there was a place called, and they did reveal its official name. And they said the Groom Lake Test Facility. They said it's now officially known as the Groom Lake Test Facility. So it does exist. So saying the name Area 51 shouldn't be a problem. It's one of the nicknames. It's one of the many nicknames of this location, including Dreamland, Paradise Ranch, Watertown Strip, Homey Airport. It's got many, many nicknames, and Area 51 is one of them. And now that's lawsuit. There's a common law precedent in the United States now for that existing. So I can't see how that's classified. What Obama did, Obama didn't breach any classification simply by naming, just by naming the area. But then of course this appeared. I'm just going to change my viewing spot here. If I can find it, then this appeared, which I'll show you when the picture viewer opens. There we are. Based on the tremendous interest shown, I will be directing the Secretary of War and other relevant departments and agencies to begin the process of identifying and releasing government files related to alien and extraterrestrial life, unidentified aerial phenomena, and unidentified flying objects. Like the two are different? I don't know. And alien and extraterrestrial life, are these two separate things? Because he's used this phrase several times, alien and extraterrestrial life. And any and all other information connected to these highly complex but extremely interesting and important matters. God bless America. He put that on Truth Social because he's still not gone back to Twitter. But now we've got this, you see. We've got this from Nancy Mace. This is addressed to the Honorable Pete Hegseth, Secretary of War, the Honorable John Ratcliffe, Director of the CIA, the Honorable Tulsi Gabbard, Director of National Intelligence, Lieutenant General William J. Hartman, Senior Official performing duties of Director of National Security Agency. So all the heads of the intelligence agencies. And Nancy Mace says, and it says here, dear people here, we write with deep concern regarding the ongoing secrecy from our government surrounding unidentified area phenomena. American taxpayers have a right to know the extent of the government's programs and the knowledge gleaned from these programs, funded with their tax dollars relating to UAP. We believe secrecy breeds distrust, while openness fosters understanding. They're really growing some balls, these Congress people, aren't they? Despite growing public interest and multiple hearings by congressional committees on the topic of UAP and government transparency, most information remains heavily classified and withheld entirely or released in heavily redacted form. While we understand the need for limited redactions in document disclosure when truly needed to protect our national security, releasing heavily redacted documents is not transparency. It is secrecy under the guise of transparency. The Department of Defense, she calls it, it's not, she doesn't call it the Department of War this time. I wonder why they changed that, by the way. Last month, released a set of heavily redacted emails in response to a FOIA seeking records that would explain why Arrow and UAP materials are now being largely withheld under FOIA exemption. That was John Greenwald who did that, yeah. This exemption is intended for law enforcement records, seems inappropriate in its application to Arrow, which is not a law enforcement body. Several days ago, the DoD denied a FOIA request seeking records relating to a UAP video that Arrow published earlier this year. Right, I'll see one of the footage pieces, yeah. This is not the first time the DoD has released footage but withheld records explaining it. Yeah, why release it at all if you're not going to explain what it is? We ask you to provide our office with the following full and unredacted documents and provide our office with detailed rationale on each redaction made in the public disclosure of each document in the case of a refusal to publicly disclose a document, a detailed rationale for why such documents were withheld from the American public in their entirety. UAP Security Classification Guide, Charter for UAP Task Force, all communications between UAP Task Force and NASA, briefing documents, photos and videos, which correspond to documented instances which pilots reported near messes with a UAP. I think she means misses, not messes, unless that's a Freudian slip. Now, that would be interesting. That bit there would be very interesting because that would include what David Fravor talks about when he talks about the Tic Tac. Records, electronic or otherwise, photographs, personal request, memorandum for the record. We look forward to reviewing these documents and ensuring your agencies are being transparent with the public. Thank you for your attention in this matter, Nancy Mace, Member of Congress. All right. Well, the answer you often get is we don't care if you're a member of Congress. You know, this is, you see, the military industrial complex together with civilian contractors is basically running this show now. They can escape regulation like this. It's outsourcing. Oldest trick in the book. Oh, dear, Rhiannon says, I'm definitely not putting the bins out on my own after dark ever again after this. Oh, dear. So you're not, in that song, the lyrics of the song, Rhiannon, say you're not afraid anymore. All right. All right, so now, there's been a lot going on. In fact, this Greer has commented on this. Let's see what Greer has to say. Let's see this one here. This is Dr. Stephen Greer. All right. Here we go. Right, let's go back to the beginning. We'll get an ad, but let's go back to the beginning. Here we go.
Greer is the founder of the Disclosure Project. He joins us now. Dr. Greer, great to have you back. It sounds like disclosure.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Oh, be still my beating heart. Oh, my goodness me. Oh, I need a cold shower. Oh, testicles framed in denim. Oh, testosterone oozing from every pore. Stop it, stop it, stop it. Ah. Oh, I'm not gay. I'm not gay. I'm not gay. I'm not gay. I'm not. It's just, sorry. It's just when Greer, it's just, he can turn a chap's head. He really can. I mean, I need to, I know what I'll do. I know. Let me just find something else. Just a second. Let me just listen to Annie Jacobson's voice. All right. This will put me back on my stroke. Hang on. I'm not gay. I'm not gay. At least I won't be as long as I don't watch Greer too much. Here we go. Here we go.
What I told you about hearing things, right? Like, because I believe this is a issue of perception.
Oh, perception.
What you can see. You know, you think of some people being colorblind.
Yes.
What I see is so different than what they see.
Voice is so hot. Oh, that's. I think I've solved that problem now. I think, yes. I must. Next time I watch Greer, remind me to. What's happening now? We're frozen. Okay. Next time I've got to do that. Every time I watch Greer, I've got to prepare myself with 5 minutes of Annie Jacobson first, so I don't so it doesn't flip me over. You know what I mean? Okay, here we go. I'm safe now. Let's get on with it, shall we?
Might happen, but we have heard all this before. Think Jimmy Carter, think Bill Clinton, similar promises. The question is Donald Trump different?
Well, he is different because we have put a lot of people around him who are very close to the administration.
Yeah, meaning you've sent them an email. That's what he keeps saying. He briefs people, but he doesn't brief people. He just sends them emails and then just says, "Oh, I've briefed them." I mean, I could do that. I could just write to the president and say, "Mr. President, you know, this A, B, and C." And I could say, "I briefed the president of the United States."
Getting key information to him and to cabinet level people for since he took office. And they're taking the matter very, very seriously, as opposed to some who have not taken it seriously. So I think there really is a sea change here happening, which would be the most consequential announcement any president would make in history, frankly. But I think that it's a lot to be determined, and we're certainly going to cooperate with getting everything from our intelligence network to Mr. Hegseth, because other secretaries of defense who've been ordered to do this have come up and hit dry holes.
Oh, Hegseth has given an interesting reply, actually. We'll go into that in a minute.
Because of the criminal nature of the secrecy around UAPs.
Right. Dr. Greer.
Well, he raises an important point, actually. Is there a criminal element to this? I mean, you see, he says this actually in his various documentaries, that if it's kind of like a criminal situation, in other words, if they've broken the law through the secrecy, then all these regulations, all these, what are they? The non-disclosure agreements and things like that, and all their secrecy oaths don't apply. So that's what he's claiming. This is why he claims that. This is where he's kind of divided from the rest of the UFO disclosure community in that sense. Others are saying we need to relieve these people of their secrecy oaths. Greer's saying, sod the secrecy oaths, they're illegal anyway. I don't know what the right thing is to do there, I don't think. Anyway, here we go.
I know that you have essentially written a speech for the president to deliver if he decides to do this. I want to quote just the first line. My fellow Americans and all citizens of Earth, it has come to our attention that extraterrestrial civilizations of great technological advancement have been visiting Earth.
So is Trump really going to read out a speech written to him by Stephen Greer? Probably. He may read out something similar, but he won't read out a speech written. I mean, Trump's not the kind of person to do that, I don't think.
Some time. Could you see President Trump being the first president to step to the podium and deliver a speech like that?
I do, and apparently his daughter-in-law believes so as well. And I think the reason for that
was Lara Trump. I showed you that in the Loose Ends video.
That there are so many pressures about this subject coming out in the next few months that delaying it much longer would not be proper. And I've advised in a briefing we did for the White House that they do not want to be behind the curve on this. They want to not have it come out through other countries or in some other way, asymmetrically, let's say. And
asymmetric disclosure is one of his catchwords. Well, I mean, catastrophic disclosure is the word you often hear, which is where it's just simply released without their control.
To be ahead of this. So I think it looks like it is picking up steam. And of course, what actually gets decided by the president, I'm not privy to per se, not directly, but I do think this is coming on a fast track right now.
But you're privy to the other side of it. And he could come to a podium and say that aliens are real, they are visiting us, and they have been visiting us for millennia. Something to that effect, correct?
Correct. And I think we're advising that it be handled very carefully because
how likely is that, though? I mean, are we actually going to see this kind of speech being given? Are they actually? Is Trump actually going to give that kind of speech? I mean, you see, I'm kind of like wondering if this is all a big storm in a teacup, and we're just gonna have the rug pulled out. We're gonna build our hopes up just like we have before, and when Trump will stand there and say, "I'm releasing these documents to the world," and then what happens? We get another 6-page Arrow report full of redacted boxes. I mean, is that what we're going to get? Is it? Is that it? I mean, and we'll see. But I mean, that's my fear. My fear is that that's just what's going to happen. Hey, Sweeps is back. That's cool, mate. I did actually show your photo, Sweeps. The images you sent me. The stream cut off, so a couple of them might be missing. We'll come back to the one about the distraction thing, though, because that's very important. We'll come back to that. But let's carry on with Greer.
Every word is going to matter globally. to stock markets and to our allies and everyone else. So this is, and luckily he has someone by his side, Marco Rubio, who had been Senate Intelligence Co-Chair, that we provided a vast amount of information to before he left to become Secretary of State.
Rubio is pro-war. It's actually Tulsi Gabbard is trying to. You see, there's a split between with the war thing, this war situation. Rubio actually thinks that I think they should bomb Iran. Whereas Tulsi Gabbard's trying to talk them out of it. It's very interesting, actually, that Trump hasn't fired Gabbard. It's important to remember, I mean, Tulsi Gabbard, I absolutely adore Tulsi Gabbard. I mean, she is very attractive, I know, but, you know, she is principled. I mean, when she talks about war, she has a different perspective from the others, because a lot of these politicians in suits who talk about war don't really know what war is. They don't know what it does to people. Tulsi does. Tulsi Gabbard was a nurse in a field hospital in Iraq and Afghanistan. She's seen what war does to people mentally and physically, and that's why she's against it. And I got the ultimate respect for her. And the fact that Trump hasn't sacked her is actually very, very encouraging. It makes you think maybe Trump hasn't completely flipped over to the dark side. Green Tea says Gabbard has been very quiet lately. She's just done a little speech, actually, and we may have to. I may be able to show it to you. I've not got it planned, but we may have time to show it to you. Okay, let him carry on.
And also national security advisor. So I'm optimistic he has good people around him who are informed.
And you're one of them. Dr. Greer, appreciate you being here. We've been on this from Inauguration Day, and here we are, maybe on the precipice of something big. Thank you, Dr. Stephen Greer. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay. We'll see. Well, I'll tell you what, before we leave his royal muscliness completely, I just want to show you this. How many of you have seen this? This is, if it'll come up, this is Kerry Cassidy. Now, she, I won't read this whole thing out here, but this is very interesting because she says here, the link between Epstein Island and alien disclosure and enlightenment, the reptilian agenda. You know, Kerry, I mean, I know very well. She does this brilliant. She does this brilliant conference at least once a year in Watford. But she says this is the important thing here. Greer's main objective is to disarm the public into thinking there is no alien threat, when in reality, certainly alien groups use us as prey, directly related to the adrenochrome hideaway, feeding off humans, satanic pedo rings, etc. In essence, he's trying to cover all that up, when in reality, the human trafficking, slavery, child sacrifice, the Epstein story is run off world reptilians in underground bases. Be aware, Greer's a front man for the cover-up and too dumb or mind-controlled to know better. I would say dumb. I would say arrogance. Full. You know, it's like Charlie Veitch. I mean, these people are just so easy to corrupt. And the reason they're so easy to corrupt is because you just feed their ego. It's not so much, everyone has an ego, but some people, they don't have an ego. Their ego has them. And all you have to do is feed their ego, you could just make them do anything. Arch Channel says, is this the real disclosure day? Well, it's not right now, but he's got the State of the Union address tomorrow. Maybe something will be said then. I don't know. But then let's go to Christina Gomez, because she's so cool, Christina. She's really young, but she's really cool. And this is where Tulsi comes into it. This is our latest video. This is just a couple of hours ago.
Autodesk Fusion for Manufacturing integrates design, documentation, machining, additive, and...
The Secretary of War just said he didn't have UAP disclosure on his bingo card. The Director of National Intelligence confirmed files on UFOs will soon be released.
Oh, how about that?
And when asked point blank whether she believes aliens could exist, she said yes. These are on-the-record statements from two of the most powerful people in the U.S. intelligence and defense. Hey, followers, I'm Christina Gomez, and welcome back to this episode of UFO News Updates. Right now, in the same week, the Pentagon and the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, which oversees the entire U.S. intelligence community, are both publicly committing to UAP declassification under a directive from President Trump.
There we go. We've just discussed this.
We're going to walk through exactly what's been said, who said it, and what context surrounds it. Repost Trump's message on social media with an alien emoji and a saluting emoji.
There you go. See, Hegseth retweeted it. Alien salute. There we go. So in other words, the alien means, obviously refers to extraterrestrial. The salute means, yes, sir, I'll do my duty. So how about that?
emoji and a saluting emoji. That was the informal signal, and some might think a little silly, but what comes next was the formal one. Hegseth was asked directly by Kristen Fisher whether he ever expected to be the person responsible for potentially declassifying information about ET life for the American people and the world. Take a listen.
3 days ago, President Trump directed you to begin the process of identifying and
It was only
releasing
yesterday, February 23rd.
the UFO and UAP files. I mean, did you ever think that you would be the Secretary of War in charge of potentially declassifying extraterrestrial life to the American people and the world?
Did not have that on my bingo card at all.
The answer matters because of who is giving it.
Well, he's got a full house now.
This is a sitting Secretary of War saying openly and on camera that he is now personally responsible for delivering UAP disclosure to the American people. He was then pressed on whether the Pentagon was prepared to follow through and what kind of time frame the public should expect.
I mean, we've got our people working on it right now. I don't want to oversell how much time it will take. Right? We're digging in. We're going to be in full compliance with that executive order, eager to provide that for the president. So there'll be more coming on that as far as the process of what we'll do.
And what sort of time frame? Do you have any sense for how long this is going to take?
I don't have a time frame for you yet, but stand by.
Full compliance is a very...
Well, so in other words, it could happen any time. I mean, there's no time frame. I mean, could he mention he's got... well, it depends what where in the world you are. But for us, it's the early hours of tomorrow morning. There's going to be the State of the Union address.
Interesting choice of words. Trump didn't sign an executive order, so that kind of stirs some optimism. He also briefly addressed space in broader military terms, and he described space as a domain that could become... What exactly are they tracking up there? Because the Space Force operates among the most advanced sensor and the Director of National Intelligence.
Right, Tulsi Gabbard mentioned UAP in her hit when she was basically being interviewed. I don't know what they call it. When they interview someone, the Congress has to interview all the various officials before they get their jobs. Yeah, I wonder if that's the case. But anyway, let's carry on with what Christina says here, because this is very interesting. Which one was it? Here we go.
Now, here is where the DNI comes in. Tulsi Gabbard serves as the Director of National...
This is when she was being grilled by Congress before she took her position. And you remember there were a lot of delays and stuff like that. I covered it at the time. But what she said is she mentioned UAPs in her opening statement, which is really amazing that she would do that. You think, why not just leave it? Because this is basically a job interview for her. And she mentioned it in this essential. She had to impress this panel of Congress people.
Intelligence. The DNI oversees the entire U.S. intelligence community, which includes agencies like the CIA, the NSA, the Defense Intelligence Agency, and more. That means when Gabbard speaks on UAP, she's speaking directly from a position that sits above them. At least you would assume so.
Yes. I mean, maybe how much do they, as a political appointee, she may not be as powerful as people think she is.
This latest clip, Gabbard speaks to the administration's...
Yeah, Green Tea, this is the one I was talking about. So if you're still there, Green Tea, this is a statement she's made recently.
Broader push for government transparency and what her office has already delivered under Trump's Day One executive orders.
Thanks to President Trump's leadership and his Day One executive orders, we've been focused on transparency.
Right. This refers to the task force, the Transparency Task Force of Federal Secrets. I mean, if you listen to Trump, you'd think this has all been forgotten, but Tulsi's about to remind us.
Accountability. First, declassifying over 500,000 government documents in a single year.
LinkedIn ads lets you target the right people.
It feels this good to be rated excellent on Trustpilot. AJ Bell, feel good investing.
500,000 documents in 1 year, and then in her X post, she stated, and soon files related to UAP, UFOs, and ET life will also be released. In an interview on Pod Force One in August of 2025, when asked whether she personally believes
Pod Force One, I like that.
Aliens could exist, Gabbard said yes.
The truth is out there.
Yes, it is.
So do you believe that there could be
aliens?
I honestly, like, my personal belief. I have my own views and opinions.
Right.
In this role, I got to be careful with what I share.
Very interesting.
She also specifically raised questions about the wave of drone sightings over New Jersey and New York in late 2020.
Don't forget to do the Dr. Evil meme. Drones.
24, saying that she still has a lot of questions, even though she knows the official answer.
You know, I've heard what the public official line is. I just personally still have a lot of questions that are unanswered.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't just New Jersey; it was happening in different parts.
Invasions of U.S. airspace. Still, questions need to be answered. These could have been armed. They could have had bombs on them or something. You know, there's still questions need to be answered. Maybe them drones ain't drones.
Country.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
That right there is saying so much. What is going on? There has been so much debate over the New Jersey drones. Is it alien? Is it an Iranian mothership? Is it Lockheed Martin? Is it a mixture of all of them?
Well, if it was Lockheed Martin, it wouldn't be unauthorized aerial incursions into U.S. airspace if it was.
You know what? We don't, like, none of the locals have any answers. The direct response from the White House right when Trump became president was, they're not a threat, they're not an enemy. During the Biden administration, the administration said that we don't know what they are. They're not foreign adversary, they're not ours. Yeah, we don't know. The narrative around the New Jersey incident in late 2024 has been very confusing, to say the least, with a lot of different answers, different explanations, and none of them are really adding up. And there is additional pressure coming from Congress. As noted in recent reporting, Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna and James Comer sent formal letters to Hegseth and other officials, including the CIA director and the Secretary of State, requesting UAP briefings by a specific deadline. And it's also interesting to note that Luna posted on X yesterday that there are going to be UAP.
She's very pro. I mean, apart from Eric Burleson, I think she's like the most pro open-minded one of all.
Files at the National Archives website that will be released soon. How soon? Yeah, we don't know about that, but we'll keep it.
What will the files be?
Eye out. Now, researcher Jeremy Corbell added an important layer to this discussion in his appearance on Piers Morgan Uncensored. He stated that very recently there has been an active debate happening at the Pentagon and the White House, not about what to say, but about whether radical honesty should be the foundation of what should be said.
I'm afraid I'm not sure I believe Corbell. I mean, he's a bit of a blagger.
Next, he described 4 areas being discussed, simply about hiding the existence of something non-human. It's about the fact that whatever these objects are, they have been observed operating over the most sensitive U.S. military installations and installations around the world, frankly, including nuclear facilities, with no ability to stop them or fully explain them. Admitting that publicly means admitting a real and unresolved vulnerability in national defense. Yeah. That is a difficult.
Do you guys want to see? Should I show you Christina's outro again? Because it's so good. I always watch every single time. I watch all her videos to the end now because her outros. She got this new outro thing, which is really good. It's so well done. Yeah, I think we'll do that. We'll watch it. Here we go. I love this. I just love this.
Conversation for any government, and it is one that heading into very interesting times. I'm Christina Gomez, and that is it for today. I will see you again tomorrow at 10 a.m. PST for another UFO news update.
So
Be
good,
safe, and remember, keep your eyes on the skies.
Look at this, brilliant. Very good, very good. Honestly, man, she's great. If I was her dad, I'd be really proud of her. I really, really would. I really, really would. All right, you can go through some of your comments. I can't go through all of them. Hi, Green Tea, that's great. I just showed you Tulsi. She has actually said something now. Yeah, I love Christine. That outro is so good. I watch every single time. I watch her videos to the end now. Hello, Pooja Pants. How you doing? Now this is interesting. Here we are. David says the visiting army officials told Marco Shiresi's mother they cannot tell the people because it will cause the collapse of society. Nice. In other words, ontological shock. Well, that's small comfort for her when her 23-year-old son dies of a mysterious disease, isn't it? And you know, his wife's left a widow at like 22 or whatever it is. Yeah. Now our channel says here, could there be a huge false flag to cover all this up? That's interesting, Art's channel, because there's three possibilities. Maybe this is the cover-up. I mean, I've said this many times before. Could this be a prelude to Project Bluebeam or something? And as I said before, I don't assume that. I'm not a backslapper. I'm not going to assume that. But I think we need to be on our guard just in case that happens. The second possibility, of course, is that that's the first possibility. The second possibility is what you said. There'll be something will happen which will cause this to fall into, to be put to one side. Now, I said when I went to the Essex UFO and Paranormal group, and I said in my talk that I suspected that after the 2001 Disclosure Project press conference in May 2000, in the May of that year, what happened a few months later? 9/11. Now, 9/11 kind of served that purpose, didn't it? It served exactly what Art Shannon was talking about. Could there be a huge false flag to cover all this up? If 9/11 hadn't happened, what would have happened to Greer's press conference? How much further could it have gone? The third possibility is what Rhiannon says here. It could all be a massive distraction, and Obama is the kind of character one would expect to be involved in such. Right. Oh, hello. By the way, hello, Brannon Harries. Welcome. Somebody new. What did Pooja say here? The nonsense of panicking, and this is why we get aliens. Okay, you've made this point, and indeed Sweeps did as well. Sweeps, where did Sweeps? We'll just get to Sweeps' picture. I don't know if you're not on screen share. Here we go. I think it's this meme here by Sweeps Fox, I don't know if he's still in chat. Let's all focus on aliens. No Epstein questions, please. With Trump there, and there's JD Vance looking like Kevin Logan. Yeah. Now I think that's the point you're making, isn't it? I've come across now. I've not watched this video yet, but I'll play it. Let's just play it. This is Breaking Points with Sagar. What's his name? I can't remember his other name. Sagar somebody.
Turning now to UFOs, my favorite subject. Let's go and put this up here on the screen. Didn't have time yesterday. War, peace, Mexico, so much.
Sagar wants Trump UFO files could be a psyop, which is kind of what we're talking about here. A psyop of some kind.
Exciting news. Here's from Donald Trump. This came out after the infamous Obama aliens comment. He says, based on the tremendous interest shown, I will be directing the Secretary of War and other departments and agencies to begin the process of identifying and releasing government files related to alien and extraterrestrial life, unidentified aerial phenomena, and unidentified flying objects, and any and all other information connected to this highly complex but extremely interesting and important matter. God bless America. So there was a lot of reaction to this. Most people seeming like it's a joke. They're tweeting out alien emojis and kind of laughing at the subject. But
it's not a laughing matter, but it means something. Something's going on. But what is it?
There are a lot of still major questions. And as you said in the beginning, considering how the whole Epstein files went, considering
Engetti, that's his full name.
How, remember, if you're new to this subject, we have had declassification efforts now for years. We have had pieces of legislation that have passed the United States Senate. We've had Marco Rubio.
10 years next year, isn't it?
whenever he was in the U.S. Senate, to Kirsten Gillibrand, to Senator Chuck Schumer, all the way going back to Harry Reid. There have been multiple congressional writers for disclosure. The Pentagon had an entire office, which was basically a cover-up office, where they released all of these files saying we have no evidence. So I just want to make sure everybody has their expectations calibrated. It's not going to be so simple. It's not going to just be clear-cut. The way that most things currently operate in...
He's probably right, actually. And maybe we shouldn't just I don't think we should assume this is going to be, he's literally going to come onto a podium and read Greer's speech or read a paraphrased version of Greer's draft. Greer sent him a draft speech. I don't think it's going to be that simple.
Inside the government are that they are vastly compartmentalized, privatized through defense contracting companies. So that way that they're not have to comply with congressional disclosure or congressional authorization, investigation. And there's a lot of other departments that are involved. So I want to shout out Ross Douthat, who's a believer like myself. Let's put this up here on the screen. He says,
what's this?
UFO questions for the White House. And what he talks about specifically is, first, does the United States military possess more classified aerial footage like the videos from the U.S. Navy jets that the New York Times published in 2017? That's a very easy one. By the way, there are multiple videos that have been talked about now for years. Do they actually exist? And when I say talked about, I'm talking about former CIA directors, former government officials, like people with high levels of security clearance saying, I've seen it, and yet it's never come out. So that's one. Second, why has the national security state produced a steady supply of, quote, would-be whistleblowers who claim to have encountered hidden legacy programs and contact with non-human intelligence? Are they liars or are they not? That's a great question. We can actually have some scrutiny. Remember David Grush, who came out publicly, and even though he was able to testify, nothing really happened as a result of that. Third, why have prominent U.S. senators led by Chuck Schumer and South Dakota Republican Mike Rounds repeatedly behaved and sometimes spoke
based on a tremendous interest shown? I mean, so is that what inspired him? That's where he got the idea from, Leon, based on the tremendous interest shown. From whom? From us? From whom?
Spoken as if they believe the national security state is concealing information related to the subject from election officials. And fourth, is there any truth to the claims that the government agencies are in contact with, quote, self-described UFOs? I think that those are the most important questions that he raises, but it raises a danger. And in some cases, it's almost dangerous to say that this is going to be it. I've directed declassification. You had Tulsi Gabbard, who came out yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, he's stating the obvious. I mean, those of us have been waiting all these years. Some people it's 9 years since 2017. For other people, it's like longer. In my case, it's much longer. That this is actually maybe not be what it seems to be. I mean, I can read you my own version of the presidential disclosure speech in a minute, if you like. I'll just see, because it may be a bit boring, considering the theme of this program. We'll see.
And she's like, yep, we're going to declassify all the files. And you're like, well, are you which files? How much of this is like, do you even have access? That's the major question. Pete Hegseth, he's like joking about the subject yesterday. He was asked by a reporter, Kirsten Fisher, and he's like, well, I don't know. We'll find out. I don't think any of these people have any real...
Joking? I don't think that was a joke. He was a bit evasive, as indeed was Caroline Leavitt at the press conference. But she wasn't joking.
Interests. And part of the danger is that this is basically like a meme that you put out there for everybody to get like really, really excited, kind of like with Epstein.
But yeah, they know the public are interested, and that makes it valuable to the men in power. It could be that simple as that, Leon, and I don't know. And Dedmond Matthews, would you be disappointed if they told the truth, which is all harmless space jellyfish, no aliens, no crash craft, no ufology mythology? Well, yes, I'd be disappointed, Edmund, but there's no chance that will happen because it goes against everything we know about this subject. So hypothetically, yes, I would be, but I can't see that actually happening.
AFK, MLK, all that stuff that previously happened.
Yeah.
Are you actually going to take any of
Yeah, but they did release a whole load of stuff on Martin Luther King and the Kennedy, but the Kennedy stuff in particular was pretty meaningless. It was all. I didn't even bother when I saw the documents. I didn't even bother watching the hearing.
this stuff seriously? Because, I mean, look, you may have the power in theory, Multiple presidents and public officials have tried. They've been stonewalled at every aspect. I think you would need someone to actually dedicate fully their attention.
Yeah.
And I'm very trepidatious about this entire thing.
Yeah, I mean, it does feel like the timing of it is very suspect too. Of like,
I get it.
There's a lot of bad stuff going on, like aliens.
Yeah. This is the point that Sweeps was making in this picture.
We're going to do some aliens, so talk about that instead. So I think that is, creates reason for skepticism. And then, to your point,
yes, you put the pins out.
Savings start here. ESET now offers trusted security for less. Enjoy.
it's not like this administration has a great track record when it comes to transparency. So people will have whatever does.
She's called Crystal Ball. That's a good name. Is that a real name, do you think?
Get put out. I think people would justifiably have a lot of doubts about, is this complete? Right. Is this accurate? Is this real? Like, what confidence do we have that these people are really going to be the ones to come clean and be transparent about whatever is going on?
Right. And then even in terms of, for example, they're saying the Department of War and the DNI. Well, what about the Department of Energy? Okay. I mean, this is, the people who have control over our nuclear weapons.
Well, if you read Paola Harris's and Jacques Vallée's latest book, it's all about the Department of Energy.
All kinds of secret compartmentalized programs. In the UFO world, it's almost acknowledged now at this point.
Sounds like the name of a Bond girl, doesn't it, from a James Bond film?
That the government itself is not really in control. It's all these private military contractors.
Yeah, exactly.
Something that they always like to point out. You know how the Pentagon can't pass an audit?
Yeah.
This is part of the reason why, is because the audit, to be able to audit specifically the type of money, first of all, you're dealing with actual black budgets, in terms of secret and intelligence.
And you're dealing with private companies. That's the problem. It's outsourcing. The NHS have been doing this for years. This is why they brought in Mediclean and Carillion.
And all of that. But part of it is that it's designed, to be opaque so that you can spread money around. And if you actually audited it, you might find some secret compartmentalized program. And of course, I've explained this about the Church Committee with intelligence. Yeah. One of the reasons Epstein is the way he is because it's post-Church Committee. You have to hire.
That's related to the Kennedy assassination. Yeah. I mean, a lot of the documents, people put in FOIAs and things like that. And the answer they got was, well, these documents are not in our possession. It's not our jurisdiction. That's because they contracted them out to bring Raytheon or Lockheed Martin or something like that. Some civilian contractor.
These sketchy guys and work with all these arms traffickers because you can't just move it in yourself. Iran-Contra would have just been done in the 1960s, but because they literally passed laws and they had transparency, you had to do it illegally. That's why that we have the UFO thing structured as well, is that you do it outside of the government, like in these, contractors and the people who are not accountable to Congress or theoretically accountable, but not nearly as much, so that you can say with a straight face, the Pentagon is not involved in
He's right about that,
even though it's a lie. So I don't know. I'm still very skeptical of the entire thing. I would love to see more, obviously, who wouldn't? But so much of this right now just feels like a bit of a public gaslighting, like from Tulsi Gabbard and Pete Hegseth and the president, tweeting out alien emojis and all of that.
The question is, if aliens, something's there. I mean, if aliens didn't exist, why would they want everyone to believe in them? That's the big question. So it can't be what people think. A lot of people say, well, they just don't exist and they're just gaslighting us and making us pretend they exist. Why? What's the point?
Trying to get everybody all excited. And that's where I want a lot of caution. I've seen this dance before, just with Grush and before that and the amendments and all that stuff that passed. Like at every turn, we've learned probably, if anything, other than the videos that came out, all we've really learned is there's still an immense cover-up going on inside of the government. Like every time that we would pass some piece of legislation requiring them to disclose something, all they do is come out and actually obfuscate public information, which gets whistleblowers to release videos and to come out and to testify. So anyway, that's my big caution. I'm sorry to be a wet blanket, but considering my experience now with Epstein and so many of these other files and other things, I'm going to have to see a hell of a lot more.
What's your bet as to whether he brings it up in the State of the Union?
Well, we may see more. As for the State of the Union address,
Right.
Well, I don't want to give away the odds on Kalshi. I'm joking.
You put bets on?
I'll give it 15%. What do you think? You give it 100? What?
Not 100.
I hate to say it. Let's check the Kalshi odds, shall we?
God.
All right.
I give it a 50% chance.
Hi, Tessa.
Decent chance because it's something like exciting that he can, distract with. That's the whole idea. So I feel like it could be useful in this context.
Somebody did tell me.
We're going to have historic transparency. We've already, released these various files, and we're going to continue that with the aliens.
Somebody sent me something yesterday. Let me find it. Is that somebody put a bet down on Kalshi that the U.S. will confirm the existence of aliens for a significant sum of money late last night. So that could be an insider. We know there have been multiple.
So someone put a bet on that. Right. That'd be interesting, wouldn't it? That reminds me of the put options for 9/11. The thing is, though, if someone has insider information, they can actually, bookmakers can actually sue and things like that. They don't pay out.
Inside could be a crank throwing away hundreds of thousands of dollars, but not a bet that you would usually put down.
I put on £10 that it would happen before the end of next year. I've lost that. I put that bet on though in like 2017 or something, and I got like 500 to 1 from William Hill. But obviously I've lost because it didn't. It's a few months late.
Unless you were relatively confident.
I mean, and here's the thing. Like, let's say they put on some document that did claim to, validate the existence of aliens or alien contact or whatever. Like,
I would put on another bet, but I get crap odds. I'd get like 4 to 1 or something like that.
I'm gonna need to see some evidence.
Right. True.
I'm gonna need, because I don't believe these people. Like, I could totally see this as being just a distraction from like, oh my God, we're going to war with Iran and the economy sucks and the president's implicated in the Epstein files,
Oh, well, that's the point, isn't it? That's what Sweeps was saying in his picture.
Aliens. That would be pretty crazy.
I do not put anything past these people.
If I would, maybe, I'm going to have to think about that.
Yeah, Leanne mentioned this to me privately. She said she's put a bet on Rupert Lowe to be the next PM. Well, it's a bit of positive energy there, Leanne, and you never know. I'd like to see him as Prime Minister. I mean, that's a big subject. I don't think we've got time to go into tonight, but I'll come back to that in another video, no doubt, in the future.
Okay. Great show today. Thanks for watching. We appreciate it.
We'll see you guys tonight.
We'll see you tonight.
Stream starting roughly 8 p.m. We'll all be here. It'll be fun. We'll talk about the crazy year and react to this.
Okay, so that was Sega Engetti, and what he had to say about it. And he raises this interesting point, which Sweeps does, and this has come up, of course, in the live chat. This is, hello, what's Sweeps is saying here? Come on, Ben, breaking points, talking heads. Any aware folks know all this already? Well, I'm going to actually push back a little bit on this, guys. Oh, night, Tessa. And Tessa mentions that, yes, Artemis 2 has been delayed again, and there's like a big hoo-ha over it. But this is Sweeps' picture, of course, which I'll remind you of again. Let's all focus on the aliens. No Epstein questions, please. Okay. Now, let me just go through I've gone through all that. It's interesting to point out, for example, Trump, apart from that one truth that Trump did, right, which Hegseth retweeted on Twitter, there's been nothing else, I should point out. There's been no executive order. There's been no bills to Congress. There's been nothing. It's literally this. See, this is a completely informal thing. Trump doesn't make policy by putting things on Truth Social. He doesn't. It's his own platform, I know, but he doesn't make. You can't make policy by putting things on social media. So basically, all we have is his pledge to do this in a social media post. No executive order, no bill, no speech, nothing. And we have Hegseth retweeting it, and since then, Hegseth has also said something to a reporter, but that's it. And several other people like Tulsi Gabbard have said a few things. But there's been nothing else on top of that. I saw a really, really good, I saw a really funny meme. This applies to you guys totally, what the people who's talking about this, like Sweeps and Leanne on. It's somebody like put up I can't find it now, but somebody put up like a tweet saying, it's like a reversal of everything that was before. Conspiracy theorists, some aliens are real. No, what was it? Yeah, normies. Normies say aliens are real. Conspiracy theorists, no, they're not. And this is how it feels like. It actually feels like that. Due to the tremendous, that's a sinister word, isn't it, Arianon? Yeah, it's almost as if he's saying that we, the people, have kind of prompted him into doing this. But then my own personal concern. I'll come on to this in a minute. But the question is this a distraction? I mean, this is the point. Is it a distraction from everything else that's going on? The Epstein files, everything like that. All these things that are happening. Now, my Rhiannon sweeps say yes. My answer to this is no. And the reason I don't think what's happening with these aliens is a distraction, there's several reasons for me to dispute this. And the first thing is, of course, aliens are a factually real phenomenon. And it could be that this issue has coincidentally arisen at the same time as these Epstein files have come out. And the second and more important point, the second reason why I don't think it's the case, is it's not distracting anyone. I mean, you sweeps have seen through it. You and Rhiannon have seen through it. Do you think you're alone? No. If this is a distraction, it's not working very well, is it? It's working about as well. It's like Bob Lazar. You know, there's this idea that Bob. You know, people believe that Bob Lazar is a CIA asset, and he was put out into the public domain. You know why? To distract people's attention away from Area 51. How well has that worked? And you've got to realize, I mean, you see, it's not worked on me. I mean, I've taught, you know, I'm still focusing on these Epstein files, and I can see this same non-reaction among all our peers. Now, distraction methods work very well against normies, but and government psychologists don't normally generate fake aliens on behalf of the normies. If you're gonna distract normies from something, you get much better results from more mundane stimuli. For example, a celebrity gossip scandal, a soap opera bombshell. That usually does the trick. Now, something weird and wonderful like aliens, that, you see, the purpose of a distraction is to shut thinking down, not to encourage it, not to get people's minds open. It's about getting people's minds down a very, very narrow path away from what you want them to think about. And as I said, it could be that you know, it could be Johnny and Amber or something like that. You know, a celebrity trial, a divorce, some big gossip scandal. That would do the trick. Something that looks good on the cover of the Sun, or whatever the equivalent is in the States. There's something weird and wonderful. Aliens, my goodness me, that's going to make people think more. It's going to make them open their minds to the point where they'll start looking outside that pathway and thinking about all the other secrets that might have been covered up, including the very thing that you want them not to look at, which is the Epstein files. So I don't think this is a distraction. I disagree with Sweeps and Rhiannon. This is not a distraction from the Epstein files or the war in Iran or anything like that, because it could just backfire too easily to be useful. Maybe we'll find out more in the State of the Union address, because that's going to happen. When's that happening? When's it happening? I know some of you will want to debate this with me, and that's fine with me. That's cool. Sweeps us here. Agent alert, clairvoyance claiming blue beam false flag on the 5th of April. Check Chris Bledsoe's video, says false Christ to return. Now this is one conspiracy I am concerned about. One non-alien theory. This could be a prelude for Project Bluebeam. Tessa says, "Oh, you and I have both visited Rachel, Nevada. Oh, cool, yeah." Epstein. Leon, imagine if the Epstein thing was actually all about making the public think these politicians and famous people were just abusing children when they were actually all visiting. Well, I don't think that would work either. I mean, it's not the sort of thing you can really isolate and then kind of bury in, like you would bury bad news with like, oh my God, this celebrity was seen walking naked through Hollywood or something like that. The Inquirer, the National Enquirer, yeah. It's notorious in the States, yeah. But anyway, the State of the Union address is coming up. In our country, it'll be tomorrow. And here's Trump. Here's Trump's truths. This is because he won't go back to Twitter. I don't know why. He won't go back to Twitter. The world has peace because he turned his head. Well, not right now. It doesn't, Trump. The Save America Act must pass. And we have here, he's retweeting Tulsi Gabbard here, who he hasn't fired. All right. I guess we'll find out. I mean, I'm not going to stay up for it personally. I've got to work in the morning. I'm not staying up for it. If he mentions anything significant in the State of the Union address, it'll come about. It'll definitely come about. Now, but I can give you a disclosure speech. David says, are they demons or fallen angels? Well, this is something that is one of the possibilities. For example, Praise King Jesus Forever says, Jesus, I am the resurrection and life. All right, yeah, that's a very famous quote from the Bible, yeah. But seriously, I mean, could these be some of the spiritual entities, demonic or angelic, mentioned in the Bible? Yes. Could they be interdimensional? Yes. Are they extraterrestrial from other planets? Yes. I'd say all of the above. I think, are they crypto-terrestrials? Yes. I don't believe they're time travelers, but because time travel into the past is not possible, and they don't come from the time travel, and they don't come from the past, so they couldn't get from the future to the past. But okay, this is the kind. Do you want me to read you this? This is a disclosure speech, which is here in my book, Roswell Rising: A Novel of Disclosure, available at all good bookshops now, priced £10. Available at Devices Books, a stock in it. Good old Devices Books. And this is, he says here, my fellow Americans, no doubt you're aware of the recent news stories in the past few weeks regarding flying saucers and speculations about what they might or might not be. I have spent long hours in consultation with key members of our defense and intelligence services over this matter, along with the Secretary of Defense, the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, a number of experts in the scientific community. I am not Brian Cox, no, not Neil deGrasse Tyson, no. Avi Loeb, Beatrice Villarroel, Gary Nolan, yeah, and a number of experts in the scientific community. I'm now in a position to inform you, the American people, that there is now overwhelming evidence that the United States of America and the world at large beyond our borders is being interacted with by an intelligence that is not human and does not originate on planet Earth. The exact nature of this intelligence is not currently known, but research into this question is well advanced. However, let me reassure you that there is no indication that said intelligence has hostile intentions. Let me just put that there. Has hostile intentions towards the United States and the human race in general. The aforementioned interaction has been ongoing for many decades, and no harm has been done to us so far. If anything, I would comment that it appears we are under neutral, detached observance by this intelligence. I will shortly be making available by executive order an extensive press package containing newly declassified material relating to this subject. This will be free to distribute to all media outlets. I'm also establishing via another executive order a new government department reporting directly to me to manage this matter, an Office of Extraterrestrial Affairs. I'm well aware that the inherent nature of my announcement this evening is worrying and frightening. I understand your feelings, but I also have a duty to maintain an environment of calm debate. Therefore, I've instructed the Secretary of the Treasury to order the closure of all stock markets until further notice. I've also instructed all state governors and that the National Guard will be available to any of them who feel they require its assistance to maintain law and order. I believe that a similar announcement to the one I am giving now is also being delivered in most of the countries of the world, simultaneously or within the next few hours due to differences in time zones. I shall now give way to a separate broadcast from the White House press briefing room, where the Secretary of Defense, the Secretary of the Treasury, and other officials will discuss the various details of what I've just outlined. We are safe. Our nation is safe. We will move into this new era together. I believe we all have a right to know and a need to know. May God bless America. May God bless us and protect us. Now, is Trump going to say something like that? I bet you that's better than the one Greer wrote. I bet you. Rhiannon's off. I won't be much long behind you, Rhiannon. Have a good sleep. Night-night. Thanks for joining us. I'll be finishing in a minute, actually, because it's 11:15. I bet you that's better than the one Greer wrote. Or maybe I won't look at it now, but I could probably look up Greer's draft speech at some point. The State of the Union, says Sweeps, will be poorly attended. Dems walking out in protest of Trump's State of the Union talk. BLS raucous audience. Yeah. Ben wrote the president's copy. I'll tell you what, right? I'll eat this hat with salt and pepper if Trump actually makes any speech that's any way close to what I've just said. David, yeah, Artemis, we're going to have to come back to Artemis too. I did promise I would. But a lot of people are complaining because, you know, Apollo 8 went into orbit. It did 10 circuits of the moon and then fired its engines to come back. Artemis 2 is just, or allegedly did. You know, I don't believe that. But Artemis 2 is just slingshotting around the moon and coming back. It seems a waste, isn't it? Anyway, we are now, I'm going to finish now, guys. It's getting late. I have to work tomorrow as well. And I'd just like to say a big thank you to everyone who has taken part live in this live stream. Tessa111, Rhiannon Raven, David Splendid Isolation, Sweeps Foxman, Praise King Jesus Forever, Arts Channel, who else? Edmund Matthews, Pooja Pans, Green Tea, Fetler John, Brannon Harris, Bernie Tucker, who else is here? Cesp, if I spell your name right, or pronounce your name right. And anyone else, if I've missed anyone else out, thank you all of you for taking part in this live stream tonight. Cheers, Cesp. Night Sweeps. Thank you very much. Thanks for your input. Your pictures and your comments have been very useful. And it's been a good contribution. You've raised very important questions, whether we agree or disagree. Your questions are vital. So thank you very much for those. Good night, Pooja. You're welcome. Good night, Pooja. And Green Tea says, if you're in contact with the aliens, they would tell us how to get past the Van Allen radiation belt. We could ask them, but they might say, none of your business, because we want you to. We don't trust you outside of your own planet. Nice, David. Thanks very much. Next video is probably going to be the Pentuck one, which will be probably at the weekend or a bit later. But yep, I'll see you all there. And the rest of you, stand by for that, because that's going to be a good one. That's going to be a good one. Anyway, thank you all of you for watching Hapanwo TV. Hospital Porters, Pride and Dignity. Stop the New World Order.